Thank you for standing by and welcome to the Esri India webinar on Esri mobile apps and app builders. This is the final webinar of the third part webinar series focusing on new and enhanced capabilities of ArcGIS 10.4. In today's webinar, Ashish Dhawan will share details on new apps in ArcGIS platform. He will also focus on how app builders you can create custom web and native apps for any platform without any coding. Ashish is a senior manager pre-sales at Esri India. He has over 15 years of experience in GIS industry and has worked extensively on enterprise-level GIS solutions and integration. For the duration of presentation, all participants' line will be in listen-only mode. We have a panel of Esri India experts from other industries and technologies areas on call to answer any queries you may have. We will have a Q&A session post the presentation. Meanwhile, if you have any question, you may send them across to all panelists using the chat window on the right-hand side of your console. And now, without any further delay, I would like to hand over the proceedings to Mr. Ashish from Esri India. Thank you, and over to you, sir.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks, Saurabhdeep. Today, as we said, that today we are going to cover what's new in ArcGIS 10.4, and our main focus area will be the what's new in the apps. If I talk about what we are going to cover today, we have already in our first section we had tried to cover the details on what's new in the desktop and ArcGIS Pro. In part 2, we had covered what's new in ArcGIS Server. Today we are going to focus mainly on web apps. Now we are going to talk about Web App Builder, which talks about how the development can be done on Web App Builder and how it can be integrated. We're going to talk about other templates like story maps. We are also going to talk about the mobile apps. There are lots of new apps which have been released in 10.4. So there have been few already existing apps like Collector app, Navigator app, Survey 123, and there are new apps like Drone to Map and Workforce. So we are going to talk and have a detail on that as well. So as we told that there has been a transformation in the ArcGIS platform, especially, and earlier we were talking about a different scenario where we used to only focus mainly on the client and the server architecture, but now we talk about distributed services. So if we see how distributed services work was that the initial server architecture for each and every use case, what used to happen was there was a use case and we used to have a different workflow for each use case. So if a person was working on a mobile app, he used to create a separate workflow for a mobile app, and it was a separate data service which was served as a service to the app and then to the user. But now what we talk about is sharing the data on through creating services out of it and creating the fully distributed architecture. So the benefit of having a distributed architecture is that the same app, the same web map, the same web scene, everything can be shared on the same apps or on the web portal or on the desktop. So whatever workflow, whatever we define, the same workflow can be seen by different users on the mobile device or on a browser. So we are not talking about specific use cases. We are talking about sharing of the data between multiple departments, between multiple apps, and thus we have moved from system of records to a system of engagement, where each department can talk to another department and they can share the data through multiple services. So as we told that today we will be focusing more on how we can work on apps. So here we are going to show that how the services are created. So as you are aware that we work on a service-oriented architecture. So the benefit of having a service-oriented architecture is that we don't work on the data sets as it is. We create services out of it. Once the services are created, the services can be consumed on your mobile devices or on your web app. So how that can be done, we will be working on the multiple web apps which can be worked and which can be seen today. So the first thing which we are going to cover today is creation of a web app and how that can be consumed in multiple applications. So when we talk about web app, we know that there are two ways by which ArcGIS helps you create your web maps. Once your web maps are created, those maps can be shared either in ArcGIS Online or on portal for ArcGIS. Now, as each one is aware, I'm sure everyone is aware of what is the difference between ArcGIS Online and server. So what happens is that whatever maps which we create, suppose a person doesn't want to have a full server implementation in premise, so they have the option of moving to ArcGIS Online, that is a server implementation on the cloud. And the next thing which we talk about is portal for ArcGIS. So what happens in portal for ArcGIS is that the same server implementation, whether it's on cloud or whether it's on in-premises, now the portal for ArcGIS is embedded with the server. So it helps you create multiple templates. Once you, those templates are configurable as well. We can very well configure those apps, and then those apps can be shared. Now, how they can be shared it can be shared on a web browser, or the same web app can also be used in your mobile devices as well. So what we have done is that in 10.4 is that now we have, since we very well know that the technology is moving ahead, and with the technology, we are moving with the development on HTML file and the JavaScripting. The benefit of working with this is that whatever UIs which are created on the web app for your desktop, when they go from one screen to another, like if it moves from your web devices to your mobile devices, the applets which are embedded in they automatically reshape themselves to fit the screen. So you don't need to redevelop something specifically for a mobile app or for a web browser. So the same implementation, the same architecture is being followed in this development. So the new things which have come up is sharing of your data through themes. So earlier also we had themes, but there are 5 new themes which have been added. If we talk about widgets in a web app builder, there are new widgets which has come. The benefit of having a widget is that we very well know that to work on a GIS technology, if I wanted to do a shortest path, we always know that for a shortest path, I need to give the start point, the end point, and then as soon as we run the script, we get the shortest path from point A to point B. So this is a common workflow which is generally used. So what ArcGIS has done is has tried to create multiple widgets like this. So the widget which I'm talking about is network analysis. So the same network analysis can be just by simple drag and drop. I can just start using a network analysis directly. So earlier when we used to create such type of web application, it used to take a lot of time to do development. But the benefit of having widgets is since we know the workflows, we directly drag and drop it on, we create an application and it is ready to work. So the time of development has been reduced drastically. In the latest release of 10.4, earlier there were few widgets, but now we have more than 30+ widgets which have been included in this. So when we talk about a web app builder, the web app builder is a part of portal for ArcGIS, and it helps you create your new apps without doing any coding. So when we say without doing any coding, it's simple drag and drop. It is fully integrated with your ArcGIS platform. And if we want to create a web application, then the software helps you create a web application in, I would say, few days with just configuration. And if suppose we really need to do, there is a specific use case which needs to be developed, then yes, we have an option where the same website can be extended using the JavaScripts and the HTML5 technology. So when we talk about web apps, there are lots of live sites which are available. There are lots of templates which are available. So a person doesn't need to even, they can directly pull down those templates. They can start using it from the scratch. They can just use those templates and view them. So if I talk about how to create a web app, there is a specific workflow which is desired. We will be showing to you that as well. So what is the workflow which generally is followed is we create a new app, we pick the styles, we select the maps, we add the widgets, we configure the attributes, and then the application is ready to be showcased. So quickly what I will do is I will just share my screen. In this I'm going to show you how if you see this is a portal for ArcGIS. In portal for ArcGIS, whenever you have your own ArcGIS online account, you will be able to see such a screen in which you have home, gallery, maps, contents. When I click on contents, I have the option where I can create a new web application. So what it does is it shows you the details of the contents which are there, like web maps, the apps which have the maps which have been uploaded. So what we can do is we can directly create a app. In this, the 4 options which we get is the first option which we get is select a theme. Now when we select a theme, there are new themes which have been added. So we have a billboard theme, we have a box theme, we have a dart theme. Whichever theme we select, it gets updated on your map. You are able to see the details on the right hand side. Once we select that, we can also select the styles which we want to use and the types of layout which we want to use in those themes. So if we select the jewelry box theme, we have the different types of layouts in which suppose we want the buttons on the top or on the bottom. So based on the theme which we want, we can select the styles and the layout. The next step which we follow is creation of a map. Now the best thing is that we can use these maps. These maps can be from your organization account. These maps can also be from an external agency. We very well know that lots of nowadays GIS companies or other people who generally use GIS, they generally share their data in form of OGC services. So I have an option where I can choose a web map which is coming out from OGC services coming from some external organization. Like nowadays we know that NRSA and Survey of India do share some of their services in form of a WMS. So in this map section we have an option where we can choose the maps coming out from Survey of India or your NRSA, or even from any other external agency who shares your data in form of a OGC web service. The next thing which we have is widgets, which we were talking about. If we go to widgets, we have an option where we can add our widgets. Now if we see these widgets, earlier there were very few widgets which were added, but in the latest 10.4 there are lots of new widgets which have come. So I'm sure that seeing this, we very well know that if we want to create a charting component, then we have a charting component report features which are directly here, in which we can directly just select the report feature and we can directly create the charts like pie charts, bar charts can be configured. Everything is configuration. Nowadays, now we don't want the people to spend time just doing the development. The other things are like analysis also. For analysis also, what we can do is we can directly select the analysis widget and we can do lots of web processing services analysis, in which we consume the services from the server and we can run the algorithms and we can publish the data on the web itself. And the Then we have directions. So we have got multiple widgets. Whichever widget we want, we directly select the widget, and that widget is available for us in form of an application. Once I have that, I also have an option of viewing the data in form of a preview. In this, suppose I want to implement the same app. Earlier what used to happen was, suppose I want to launch the app on an iPhone. So I can very well have the preview of the app, how the map is going to look like, and if I want to change the width and height of it, I have the option of changing it, and then I can show it on the map. So this was how we can create a web map, creating a widget. So what happens is, once we create a web map, the application is totally ready, configured, and it is ready for you to view it and use it. So these are the widgets which we talked about, that there are 30+ widgets which are available. Once we see that, we can very well configure them and deploy it on any device which we want to devise. We also have an option where we can add utility services. Now, when we talk about utility services, we know that there are options where we want to, suppose we want to do a geocoding. So we have a geocoding utility service which is available. So it can be configured with your portal for ArcGIS, and that geocoding web services then can be used, and you have a full geocoding engine which can be embedded within your application, and it is ready for you to use. So similarly, for geocoding, we have other utility services like print services and basemap services. ArcGIS provides at least 7 different kind of basemaps. So the benefit of having basemaps is, sometimes some people are interested to view only the street view. Some people are interested to have the data view in form of a topographic sheet, or sometimes some people want to have a background as satellite image. So we have got 7 different types of basemaps which are available in ArcGIS. So the person has the option of using any basemaps which he wants to use. So those are the utility services which can be used. So once another new thing which has come up in 10.4 is that when you create your widgets, you have an option of creating a new template. So if I have configured a new template, I have an option of sharing the same template within my organization. The benefit of having that is that I don't need to reconfigure any specific template again and again, and that can be a base template for multiple sites which I want to host from my organization. So the user now has the option of creating his templates by himself and storing it within his library. Then 4 new widgets which are there is attribute editor, image measurement, feature reports, and dashboards. So they are now a part of 10.4. Coming to ArcGIS Online, in ArcGIS Online we have come up with many ready-to-use apps which can be used. There are lots of templates which are available. So these apps can be directly downloaded and they can be used, or if it's a web application, it can be used as a template, and if it's a mobile application, it can be directly downloaded from a Play Store. And then we can, it's not only helping you to visualize your data, but you can also do analytics on top of that. Then we also have an option of story maps. This was also earlier also story maps were available, but with the latest release, new templates of story maps are available which can be used. So for this, I can quickly again go back to some examples of story maps. In this, again, we have got multiple templates of story maps. Right now, today, I'm going to show you few story maps of how the benefit of how easily we can create a story map and showcase it. So the first one which I'm going to show you is a Dante March, how Gandhi started his his Dandi March from Sabarmati Ashram, and so if I click on the second link, it shows me the next place where he had gone, like Navagram. Then how many members were attached. So we can create a storyline on the left. We can attach all the details, whatever we want to show. So it on the left hand side, we have an overview window, and we have the map in the center where it shows you the different locations from how the Dandi March started and to all the places where it had gone. And with each tab which I click, I get to know the location and I get to know a story behind it. The benefit of having the best part, the beauty about this Dandi March is that we have created this story map in just, I would say, half a day. And we can create multiple story maps like this, and because we have got multiple templates available with us. Another good story map is which we had created is on national parks. In this, what we have done is we have tried to create different national parks which are available in India. In this, on the maps, we are able to see different points like 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th. So these are the national parks which each point, as soon as I click on the map, the left screen shows me which, the 6th number shows the Sariska National Park, and even the lower section gets highlighted. So these are all interactive maps. Suppose I am not interested in the 6th one, I want to visualize it from the 4th one. So if I click on the 4th one, you can see that whether I click on the map or whether I click on the widget which is there on the bottom of the screen, each of the screen is getting updated based on the click. So these are the events which are which can easily be configured by the person themselves. They can create multiple kind of story maps like this, and they can show it to their management, or they can have a public link which can be shared on the screen. So this is another template. So like this, we have got multiple templates which can be shared through in form of a story map. And these are all interactive maps, and the beauty of this is these are all interactive. So, and if a person works on the map, he can tell that on the click of on the map what other things he wants to see on the different tabs which are available, which he has designed himself based on the template which he has selected. Now the next thing which we are moving to is from the web, we are now moving towards the mobile side, and how we can configure different mobile apps and how we can use them. So the first thing which has come up in 10.4 is we are going to talk about mobile map packages. That is the .mmppk files. Now these files you can easily, it helps you support your geocoding, your display and routing. So based on the files which we create packages, the same data can be stored in an offline mode also, and it can be used the way you want to use. The same MPK file can also be created using ArcGIS Pro. It can be then used in your ArcGIS Pro. It can be used in a mobile device like a Navigator app, or it can, the same MPK file can also be used in your runtime. So if you are trying to deploy applications using runtime, so the same mobile map package is available to be used in a offline or a online mode in your mobile packages in a runtime as well. The best thing is that it's smaller, it's easy to share, and it's the data can also, since it becomes a local part of your device, so if you want to do edits or if you want to do any type of analysis, the analysis stuffs or the geocoding stuffs becomes a much more faster process since the data lies within your device itself. The benefit of having mobile map packages is that it can have maps or base maps. It can be opened in Pro or runtime. The second thing, the benefit is that it consists of operational layers, and those operational layers can also, and at the back end we can have base maps also. So if we have got a very big base map, we can compress the base map and store it in the mobile map packages. Then we can use transportation network data sets. So there's a app which we are going to discuss today is the navigation app. So the same data set should be available, can be configured easily in your mobile devices. We have a locator app, mobile map package as well available also. And then we also have a mobile geo database. So it can be your SQLite database which is supported by mobile devices. Even the data can be stored in those mobile packages as well. When we talk about mobile, there are lots of new apps which are now available. They are like navigation app, survey 123 app, workforce app, drone to map apps. These are the maps which can directly be downloaded. They can directly be used for different purposes. So we will be going into each one of them in this webinar. So when we talk about the Navigator app, in this, if a person is interested to do a work moving from one place to another, like a shortest path, he can download the Navigator app on his mobile devices. He can select his start point and end point, and he gets to know the details of how to go. And the beauty of this is that it can also work in your disconnected mode as well. So what requires to be done is you take a map in your desktop, you create a map package out of it. The map package contains your data sets which have the details of navigation. So it should be a mobile package which supports navigation. It means that the topological data model required for your navigation should be embedded, should be a part of the mobile package, and once that is created, it can be shared and it can be downloaded to your device, and it is ready for you to use. So what things are required for this is that you need to have a Navigator for ArcGIS app which can be used. The second thing is that the data should be a part of it. The data means the tweet network data which is required for routing. So that should be a part of it. If required, if the people also want to do a searching based on a location, so there should be a geocoding locator should also be a part of the package. And then once these are configured, these things can be used in your mobile app. Then we have the navigation for ArcGIS. It can also be configured on your portal for ArcGIS. The basic beauty about this is that in the portal for ArcGIS, also it's just a configuration which needs to be done. So if you want the navigation app to be supported on your, not only on your mobile devices, but also on your web applications, so there is just a basic configuration which is required. That is the registration of the MPPK files with the portal. So for that also we have in 10.4 we have provided a command line tool which is available. You just need to run the command line tool and it will be directly configured, and you can directly then use the same app on your mobile, on your web portals as well. So this is how we directly configure it for your portal, that we have the system, we have the licenses. Once we have the licenses for the portal, we just directly configure it with the Navigator app. And then the next step, which is there is the registration of the Navigator app with the portal. So these, it's just a simple command line tool. Once we run the command line tool, the benefit of having the command line tool is it directly registers your data with the web portal, and the web portal is then ready to use for your navigation as well. The next app which we are going to talk about is the Workforce for ArcGIS. This app is specially created for the people who are there in the field. So what we very well understand that when a person goes to the field, there are some specific workflows which are attached to it. So if we want to create a particular workflow, and then there is a team lead who is going to evaluate the workflow, and then he's going to finally update the data sets for the live site. So these kind of workflows for the people who are going to the field, capturing the data, and then submitting it back to the office. So these workflows can directly be configured in your workforce for ArcGIS. So these are basically for your field people who are there in the field. They update the data. So the benefit of having an app like this is that you can plan and assign your work for the field people. You can also attach a reporting status, the assignments, what a person is given for each day, the persons who are going to the field. So the tracking of the people who are in the field, the reports for them, the full workflow can easily, and the status and the reporting facility can be seen using the workforce for ArcGIS. Again, this is an app which can be downloaded directly from your Play Store, and it can be configured with your web portal. So how it can be done is that we have got a ArcGIS administrator. So ArcGIS administrator creates the projects, different projects for different areas, and then we create dispatchers. Dispatcher means we create locations, specific locations for specific field people, so that they can work only on the area for which they are in the field. Like if a field person is working for maybe a Noida region, then he will be given or allocated an area for the Noida by the administrator. So he can do his edits, he can create whatever, and he can do his edits, he can upload the data for the Noida region. And once the data is uploaded, you can see the status of the field worker, and you can also assign a new work to him. So all this can be configured through your ArcGIS administrator. So another beauty of this is that the Workforce app can also be integrated with other apps. So suppose we not only want to track the person, but we want to collect the data from the field. So for collecting the data on the field, there is an option of collector for ArcGIS and Survey 123 app. So these are apps which will help you capture the data, get the data from the field and upload it. So all these apps can be configured in a way where all these apps can be used together. And then we have an operational dashboard. The operational dashboard helps you view what kind of, based on the reports, that how much work has been done for a particular period of time. So again, operational dashboards are also configurable options where you can create your maps, and even those can be interactive maps between the reports and the map. The next thing which we are going to talk about is a drone to map for ArcGIS. This is a new tool which is specifically done. We very well know that nowadays people are working on 3D data sets. They want to do a survey of your field using a point cloud data using drones. So what happens in this is, I will quickly show you the drone to map apps in this. So in this, what happens is that when the drone to map app, you can directly take the data sets from different angles, and once you take the data sets from different angles, the data is consumed in form of a point cloud. And since it's a point cloud data, it can be easily configured in your drone to map app, and then the same data sets can be visualized in a 3D manner. So since the data is being consumed in form of a 3D app, so the data can be visualized, the data can be surveyed from different angles, and all the angles are captured by the drones, and then when you see the data on your web application, the same web application will help you visualize the data in a 3D fashion. So from whichever angle you visualize your data, you are able to see the minutest details for all the heights, for all the attributes, for all the features which are available during whatever we had captured with the help of drone to map. So this is again a very useful app which has been specially created to capture 3D kind of data sets and visualize them on the map. So what it takes is that you take different images. Those images can be what we are showing here is that the data is being captured in from different angles, and then the images are overlapped and from different angles, and then a proper 3D structure is created which can be then seen through your digital surface models. The next app which we are going to talk about is the Survey 123 app. In Survey 123 app, this is a new app which has again released in this latest release. The benefit of this is earlier we know that people used to go in the field, they used to capture the data in form of a XLS file. Now what we have done is that the same XLS file can be uploaded directly in the Survey 123 app. The XLS file can define that if I want to capture 20 attributes, those 20 attributes from the field, one can be a date field, the other can be a numeric field, the third can be your text field. So based on the type of fields which are being configured through your XLS, once they are uploaded, so if it's a date time field, automatically the Survey 123 app will show you a calendar for it. So the user who is using the same Survey 123 app on the mobile device gets a date time field. So we very well know that the data capturing facility becomes very easy for the user, and the data which is being captured is authentic. So we very well know that no person can type in a particular text in a date time field. So if it's a numeric field, then only the numbers can be put into it, no text can be added. So all these rules are embedded in the XLS which is provided with Survey 123. Those XLSs can be directly uploaded. The same app then also has the option where it takes the data from the field, and once the data is captured, you can also upload a particular photograph or a particular video from the field. It can become a part of that particular record, and then once the data is captured, the user also has an option where he can digitally do his signatures as well using this mobile app. And then once all the data has been captured based on the XLS which we had uploaded, the data is available for the user to be consumed directly. Another beauty of these apps is that it not only works in an online mode, it can also work in an offline mode also. So we very well know that in deep interiors, when we go to do a forest survey, then in deep forest, the networks are not good. So in those scenarios, to get the survey data done becomes quite difficult. So for those people, they can work in an offline mode, and as soon as they come back to the connectivity, the data get automatically synchronized with your central database. And once it's synchronized, that data is available for the other users to be visualized. So what it shows is that we have in a Survey 123 app, we have a spreadsheet editor. This editor helps you configure what type of data we want to capture. So it is a one-time configuration for the XLS file. Once the configuration is done, it is uploaded to the organization account, and once it's uploaded to the organization account, the same application is available for the persons to be downloaded, and they can then start doing their survey based on the attributes which were required to be captured. The next thing which we are going to talk about is about the App Studio for ArcGIS. This is again a new concept which has been added especially for the developers and for the people who really want to work and create their own apps themselves. What happens in this is that the person has the option to build his own app the way he wants. So like for web browsers, we had given the users the option, the flexibility to select widgets. In this also the user has the flexibility to select the features and functionalities which he wants to be used on a mobile app. So he creates his mobile apps, so there's a web app builder which helps, there's an app builder which helps them create these apps for the mobile devices, and then once these are built, they can be uploaded. In this we have options, we have got templates which are available. The templates which are available are like a map to template, a map viewer template, or a quick report. So these type of templates are already there, so the user can select the templates. Then he creates his mobile apps. Once he creates those mobile apps, he has the option to build them, and once he builds them, he has the option to specify that where and when, on what type of devices he wants to install. So the software helps you provide multiple installers for iOS, Android, Linux, Windows. So the user has the option to create the deployment. He doesn't need to do any, it's just a simple configuration by which he specifies that the mobile application is going to be used in these devices. He creates an installer for that. So it's just a simple button which helps you create these deployable files, and then they can be uploaded to your Play Store, and then they are ready to be used. So this is again a new feature of 10.4 for App Studios to configure your mobile apps yourself. Then you can build these apps on the web, and they are available for you in different on web, on basic, ArcGIS, basic and standard. So with this we come to the end of the part 3 session of what was desired for especially on the web apps. We had already covered the what's new in 10.4 server and the desktops in our earlier sections in part 1 and part 2. So thanks for this. If we have any questions, we can go ahead with the questions.
Thank you, Ashish. Ashish, I'm looking at my dashboard. I do not have any questions which are addressed to me. If you can look at your chat window, if there are any questions for you, we can take those. And participants who are on the line, if you have any questions, you can address those to me or Ashish via the chat window. Ashish, can you have a look, please?
Currently, I don't see any questions which are put across.
Okay. So for all the participants, if you have any questions, we'll wait for a minute for any questions. If there are no questions, then we can close this call for today. So I think I don't see any questions that are coming. So Shorvik, I think we can close this call for today. If there are any further questions, you can always write to us at info@esrindia.com, and we can get those addressed. And the recording of the presentation would be available online and it will be shared with all the participants. So with that, we'll end this webinar for today. Shordeep, over to you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. With this, we conclude the session for today. Wish you all a great day ahead. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Thank you very much. I would like to thank all the participants and the panel members who joined us today. Hope you all spent a useful time. With this, we conclude the session. Wish you all a great day ahead. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Have a good day.